Welcome to the Master's Table. Thank you for joining us today. We've got an old dish, but a great dish. Lots of different ways to fix beef stew, but this is really good.
This was a request. Miss Lisa in Madison, Georgia, she asked me about a beef stew. She actually asked me about a Brunswick stew, and I'm trying to figure out how I can simplify in the amount of time that we have to do a Brunswick stew. Because, you know, it takes a little time to prepare it, but I may have to.
We'll do it, though.
Yeah, we're going to figure out how to do that. But she had asked about a beef stew, and I love when people ask us about things. When you want to know how to cook something, we're doing an old-fashioned beef stew, and we're putting a Master's Table twist on it. So I can go over some of the ingredients, or we could probably get ready to go on to a break here in just a minute.
Just tell them the ingredients right quick.
We got the recipe calls for about 2.5 pounds of chuck roast, and if you can find those beef tips, the stew meat, if you can catch it on sale, but it generally tends to cost a little bit more than a whole chuck roast. So you can buy the chuck roast and chop it yourself and save a little bit of money, because I'm all about cooking on a budget when we can. But you know, if you look at the prices of meats right now in the grocery stores, it makes you want to take a double take. But anyway, this is about 2 pounds of chuck roast I think we have here, and I'll go over here. I mean, just the normal stuff. Vegetables. You got onion, bell pepper. We're gonna put some celery, and we got seasoning and potatoes and carrots and peas. We're just gonna do it up right today. So just hang tight with us, and we'll be right back on the Master's Table. We're gonna make up some beef stew.
Oh, welcome back. Welcome back. I hope you're good and hungry, and you've got your pencil and a piece of paper, and you can, if you don't have time to write it down when it's on the screen, call us, text us,
reach out to us.
We'll make sure you get the recipe.
I'm gonna go ahead and start talking about this a little bit. It's gonna take a minute. Now the preparation on this is pretty quick, but just, you know, we generally try to get you in and out of the kitchen in 30 minutes or so, but you won't be able to do that on this one. But you can have it ready in 20 or so minutes, 25 minutes, and have it. You can either cook this on the stovetop, or you can cook. I like to put the Dutch ovens in the oven, because you can just kind of put them in there and walk away from it and leave it alone. Check it every so often. But like I said, I got about 2 pounds of just like a chuck roast, not ground chuck roast, but just just chuck roast that I cut up. I keep wanting to say I want to grind it, make some hamburger meat, what I want to do. But yeah, do that too. Grind your own hamburger meat is much better. But anyway, what we're gonna do, this is a 1/4 cup of flour. We're gonna go ahead and add that to this. We just want to put this on here. We're not gonna try to cook this. Tina's already got this pan heating up, and we got probably what, 2-3 tablespoons of
now that
oil
flour is all-purpose.
It's all-purpose flour. We just use all-purpose flour. We just want something just to have we want to brown this just a little bit before we start adding stuff to the pot. So we put in black pepper and salt. Do it to taste. I just go ahead and put just a little bit of pinch of this and that and season it. And I'm gonna put just a little bit of I think our oven's ready, Miss Cleveland. I'm gonna put some of our all-purpose. This is just garlic, pepper, a little bit more pepper, onion powder, just a few, just all the ingredients you have in your cabinet, but they're all in one bottle.
They're available.
Yep, they're available. You can get them. Reach out to us, masterstable.shop. You can get all. Yep, we'll put it in your hands. We'll send it to you. But I just want to get this, just a light coat on this. Like I say, you could add a little more flour, but I think a quarter cup is going to work good right here on this, and it depends on your chuck roast. Sometimes you may cut up, you might like it a little bit more meaty. You might add a little more meat. If you did, put a little bit more flour. But this flour also, not only is it going to brown and give our meat a little brown on the outside, it'll actually help being part of our thickening agent as we make this soup. So all we're doing is just mixing that. So we got a coat on that right there. So what we're going to do, Miss Cleveland, I'm going to go ahead and put this in here, and I just want you to kind of take your spoon and kind of spread these out just so they're all kind of.
Is that enough oil?
Yeah, it don't take much. This is a good non-stick anyway. All we want to do is brown. We're not trying to get this done. We're just trying to brown. Just kind of get them all flattened out and let them start browning a little bit. And I'm going to go over some of this other stuff and tell you what we're getting ready to do. Because actually what we can do is which I think go ahead and cut this one right here on medium, because this is what we're going to prepare everything in, and I'm going to go ahead and be getting this ready while you're getting that going. And like I said, what I like about these Dutch ovens, like I said, you cook on the stove or you can pop this in the oven, and I love putting these in the oven. Go ahead and pour me just a little bit of that oil on the bottom, just maybe a tablespoon or so. That's perfect, perfect. And I'm gonna go ahead and be cutting up some of these other ingredients. So it calls, I was trying to look and see how much it's called for 2 cups of onions. And to be honest with you, I'm just gonna cut up this onion. I don't know exactly how much this will measure out to be, but I'm just gonna say just cut up an onion. If it's a big or small, you know, the onion and the peppers and things like that are to taste. So, you know, if you don't really like that much of that, you don't have to put that much. Like I tell you about our recipes, use this as a guide and make it your own. So, but we're gonna put an onion. That's already sizzling a little bit, ain't it?
I'm not touching it though.
I know. I told her don't touch it. Tina always wanting to stir, and I told her, I said leave it alone and let it brown a little bit, and we're gonna get ready to put all this in that pot. And I'm just gonna give this all we want is just a little rough chop on this. I don't want them too small, because I do want us to know we have some onions in there, because this is going to cook for a while when this starts to cook. So like I say, I'm just giving you just a rough chop. And Miss Lisa sent Tina a thing to chop with. I need to try that out sometime. It's in that drawer right there.
Yeah, because I don't get to chop.
Them. Huh? I'll let you chop. You said you the pot stirrer. I'm gonna let you stir. Like I said, we just want to brown that just a little bit. I got them, and we're gonna cut up 1 bell pepper. We're gonna put it in here. And I was trying to look and see what it called on the bell pepper. I was trying to see what.
Half a teaspoon of.
What is it, bell? But see if you see the bell pepper. I can't even read it. We're just gonna give this a rough chop right here.
That's black pepper.
Okay, but I'm gonna put some bell pepper in here too. I don't know if I put it on that.
You didn't.
Didn't put it. We're gonna put 1 bell pepper in there too, or maybe a half. Maybe not a whole. We're gonna put about a half.
I'm not crazy about bell pepper.
Okay, I won't put much then, Miss Cleveland.
Well, it don't matter. I'm just saying I'm not crazy about it.
I just put a little bit. I just want just a little bit. I love pepper and a lot of things. That onion's working on my eyes
bell
too.
Peppers.
Okay, being you don't like, I'm gonna make this one for you. I'm not gonna put a whole lot of. I'll put a little sprinkle of bell pepper in it. I told you my beef stew gonna be a little bit different, just a wee bit different. We're gonna put just that much of a bell pepper. So those are. Flip some of that and just see, just kind of flip.
This.
Yeah, just kind of flip it and see if it's browning a little bit.
Yeah, it's browning.
Yeah, just kind of give it a raw. We just want to get that raw flour cooked off of it, and we want it to brown just a little bit. And once that browns just a little bit, we're gonna go ahead and dump that in this pot. We'll dump our meat in that pot while this one's starting to heat up a little bit.
Yeah, it needs to brown a good bit.
Yeah, just let it brown. And like I say, it's gonna cook. We're not trying to get it. Go ahead and cut that on up. Get that a little bit hotter, and that way it'll work a little faster for you. But we're not trying to get it done. The only thing we're trying to do is we're starting to build a little bit of flavor right here. And I'll go ahead and go over some more of these ingredients with you. And I can go ahead and chop some of this celery while Miss Cleveland's working on the meat. I started to give that to you a while ago. I'd have been better off to do that, wouldn't I? So we're gonna break us off a little bit of this celery. I think it calls for about a half a cup.
Oh no, that's something I could do without.
No, you don't like celery? I knew there's a few things wrong with you, so that's one of them, right? You
don't like
celery.
it. It's too many strings in it.
You don't like it with ranch dressing? Not even a good homemade ranch?
Nope. No, it ain't for that. It's just the...
Yeah.
I
used to not like it, but I got to where I like celery. I kind of acquired a taste for it. So it calls for about a half a cup. I'm going to do about these 3 stalks right here.
Chopped real fine.
I'm not, but it's going to cook. This is going to cook for a while. So I won't use the rest of that, because you don't like celery. I'm telling you, I'm going to make this for Tina today. So we'll give that one right there just a little chop. So we got our celery, we got our onion, we got our bell peppers, and we're gonna go in with our seasoning as we start adding this. So that's like I said, we just want that to barely get a little brown. And once that browns, we're gonna dump that, and we're gonna start adding some stuff in there. So y'all see what I got right here. I got the onion, I got the green bell pepper. Set that piece that we're not going to use, and the celery. And I'm going to push these back because I want to work on some of these potatoes. Now, when you make this beef stew, we don't want to put the potatoes in right now. We want to wait. Once we get this going, get this cooking in the pot. Once we get everything in there, we're going to let this cook. I'm going to put it in the oven on 350 for about 40, 45 minutes. Then I'm gonna check it and see if it's where I want it to be. And if it is, and it should be, then we're gonna add the potatoes in at about 40, 45 minutes. Let it go for another about 15 minutes. And then maybe right before that 15 minutes up, then add these peas. I got this is just a little bit of sweet peas I had left from something else I cooked. I saved them, and I think it calls for a cup, and that's about a cup of sweet peas. And I know everybody don't like
leave
sweet
that out
peas.
too.
Yeah, but see, I love English peas. I like them so.
Actually, just beef and potatoes and onions would be good.
Then it wants beef, potatoes, and onions. And these, if you want, these are the Yukon Gold, I think, potatoes. I mean, you could use russets if you want to. But I like these.
What about the little round potatoes?
You could drop those little small, those miniature. What do they call those?
Just little potatoes.
Yeah, we call them little potatoes, but they're miniature potatoes. You could drop those in there if you didn't want to fool with even chopping. And I just kind of quarter these up. You know, I'm just thinking bite-sized potato. You know, of a potato. We just kind of quarter these down.
Bite-sized.
Yeah, see now right there, and see that's a bite. I'm just kind of quartering them down.
Bite.
I got a big mouth, you see it?
Yeah.
You said I got a big mouth, so I got to cut my potatoes so they'll fit. I'm just kidding. But we'll cut up a few of these while you got that. And that's getting about where we want it. So if you want to cut that back down to a medium and just let that cook right there just for about another minute.
I'm trying to get the ones that's over here on the side.
Yeah, just kind of, like I say, we just want to brown it just a little bit. Like I say, we're really right now what we're doing is making some flavor. That's all we're doing, making some flavor.
These things are heavy.
Yeah, that's some good ones there. That ain't them cheap. That ain't them cheap ones you get at the $1.25 place. That right there, that's the good ones there. I'm just gonna drop these, and I love these pans. I pick up these big packs of these pans at the big box store.
That's a good cooking tip.
This is a good cooking. There you go. That's a good tip right there because you got the tip of the day in the middle of the episode.
That's right.
Last time we cooked, but I'm just gonna drop those potatoes in this pan because you can rinse these out when you get done, or if you don't want to, they're so cheap, you throw it away.
Yep.
And it just kind of saves on the dishes. I'm gonna cut up one more potato, and I think, Tina, if you want to go ahead and start transferring that meat into that pan right there, we're gonna start with that right there. But we got a little bit more work for you to do right there. You like stirring, so I'm fixing to have you something to stir. Now, you like stirring, we're fixing to get after it. You ready?
Nope, not yet. What's it got to be on?
Huh?
What's the temperature got to be on?
We can cut that down just a little bit. I mean, that meat can continue to cook. We'll cut it down on about a medium low. We'll cut this back on a medium because we're going to put you just a little bit of butter. I think I got some butter, yeah. I think it called for like 2 teaspoons of butter. We're just going to add a little bit of butter in your pan because see, we want to save that little bit of flavor that you already got going in there. We're going to put you about, I don't know, we're going to call that 2 teaspoons right there.
Huh?
I'm just waiting on you to get your meat out. We're going to drop this. So doing it. No, I know. You're getting it. You're doing all right. You good. We're going to drop that. I can do it like that guy seen online. He throws that butter on. He said 1 stick of butter, he throws it and just splatters all over everything. I figured you might get mad if I do that. So
yeah, if it splatters, I'm going to sit down.
Okay, all right, but don't do that. So I'm going to go ahead and put these onions in. We're going to let these get a little head start.
Give me a...
There should be another wood.
Looking for a spoon.
Spoon, that wood one.
No.
Be careful with that. That's that. You need that wood on that. You don't want to use that metal.
I'm not touching the bottom.
No, but you don't want to use that metal.
Is that another tip of the day?
Yep. Don't use metal on your non-stick pans like that because they don't last long enough as it is. And that metal will really, we're working on a budget, Miss Cleveland. We're working on a budget. We're gonna make them last. No, they don't last. That stuff don't stay on there like they say. Now you can cut that back up just a little bit. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and start. I want to let that come up first. Let those onions come up and just start cooking just a little bit first. We're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of seasoning. I went ahead and put the butter. You don't have to add the butter. You could put a little more. The recipes, it talks about you can use the olive oil or the butter. But we got the onion in there, and I'm gonna drop you a little bit of garlic in there in just a second. I got some garlic floating around over here somewhere. It's over here on this side. Let me have one of those right there. I don't need a little bit of that. We're gonna get some garlic ready, and we're gonna get this just about ready to get it all in that pot. But like I said, we're building some flavor in there before we put it all together. I like to, like I say, give those onions a little bit of a head start. And I'm gonna put that little bit of green pepper in there. I'm gonna get me about 3 or 4 of these cloves off of here. I love this fresh garlic. And I had some, I don't know what I've done with it. It may be sitting over there somewhere. I got some that's already peeled. I found a bag the other day that was already peeled in the grocery store, and it had the whole kitchen smelling. It smelled good. I like to smell that garlic because when it's so strong, you can't deny what it is. But anyway, y'all like my little miniature Dutch oven. I thought that'd be cute to put some garlic in. I know. But on this garlic,
different strokes for different folks, I reckon.
All you gotta do is pop those a little bit, and they peel pretty quick. It's not real hard to peel it once you break that outer. I said it wasn't. This isn't gonna be aggravating. See that thing? It's acting just like you.
Why don't you use that other?
I don't know what I've done with it. Is it over there? That's okay. I got these broke now. It's okay. This is fine. I just don't want. I want about 3.
I don't know what you're doing with it.
That's somewhere. I might have put it back in the fridge. It's okay. I needed to use this anyway because this will dry out.
So just fast. So you can buy garlic already. You don't have to do all that.
Yeah, you can buy this fresh garlic in the bags in the stores that's already peeled.
Yeah.
It's already peeled, and
That's what I would do.
It would be a bag of it, but it costs a little more. It'll be a bag that looks just like that. It's already peeled, and it's ready to go. And you can also buy what I call the jarlic. It's in a jar, and it's already cut up, so I just call it the jarlic. And you can buy the jarlic, and it works good. It's real garlic also. But I'm going to wait before I put that on there now. You got those onions. Got a little bit of a head start. I'm going to drop this celery and that little bit of green pepper. I didn't put much green pepper because you said you didn't like it.
Well, I can eat the green pepper before I like that celery.
Okay. I didn't put a whole lot of both. I just
don't like the taste of it.
I put kind of what the recipe called for. Okay, so now we got our vegetables in there. We got those going, and we're going to start with a little bit of instead of putting the garlic salt, I'm going to use the all-purpose because this has got the garlic and got the little bit of salt. It's got the black pepper and all the other stuff in it already. So we're going to go ahead and give this a good season. That looks like a lot, but remember, it's not. This is low sodium. Just don't have a whole lot of salt in it. Just remember, you're getting a lot of garlic, a lot of the good stuff without getting all the bad stuff. So we're going to season it up with that. And I also like to hit it with a little bit of more of that fresh ground black pepper. We're going to hit it with just a little bit of that right there. And we're going to let you stir that just for a minute, then I'm going to start adding these few other ingredients, and we're going to get ready to drop this in that pot. And we're going to have it ready to bake it on up. I'm going to bake this one today. We're going to bake a beef stew instead of cooking it on the stove. And like I told you about these potatoes, you can put these up for a little bit because we're going to let this cook for about 45 minutes before we would add the potatoes in anyway. And like the carrots, the recipe calls for, I think it calls for 3 or 4. Let me see what I wrote down here. It's got, I think it's, what I just seen it, kind of out of order right here. On the carrots, yeah, it's calls for 5 medium-sized carrots. So what we're going to do is I bought these. They had these right here on sale the other day when I was in the grocery store. So what I done was just bought some of these little small ones that's already peeled.
That's what I like.
It saves a little time. This is all about being easy. So, if it saves a little time. So these are already not big, so I'm just going to kind of pop these in half and have these ready. And we can just drop these in there along with that. And like I say, these are so small, you really don't have to cut them if you don't want to. But if you had, like if you used you went strictly by the recipe and, used the whole carrots, of course, you'd cut them down to bite size, whatever you like. And I'm going to go ahead and drop these. We're going to get this in the oven here in just a few minutes, Tina.
It's actually pretty healthy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is until we start adding some of this other. Now, no, it's not. This is not.
If you just eat this right here.
It's not going to be bad. I don't want to know, but it's not going to be bad. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to go ahead and put a little garlic. It's this other one right here. This is just fresh garlic. I love fresh garlic. I'm going to take that and knock that off.
You love the act of making
I do. I like, it's something about that right, doing that right there. I don't know, something about that sound or the way that feels.
But it don't look like much comes out of that.
Yeah, it leaves that little bit of skin in there. Okay, now, got that. All right, I got some tomato paste sitting here somewhere. All right, we're going to put about, let's see, I think it called for 3 tablespoons. So We're gonna call that 1 tablespoon. I'm dipping with a teaspoon, but I'm getting a big teaspoon, so we're gonna call that another tablespoon, and then 1 more again. So that right there, and then we're gonna add a little bit of W. Y'all, we can't do anything without the W sauce.
That's the what sauce?
What's your sister's sauce? That's what I just call it the W. So that's 1 tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, and I like a little bit of extra, so I'm gonna go 3 tablespoons. I like the W sauce. So go ahead and just keep mixing that right there, Miss Cleveland. Just keep on doing it to it. I like it. And then we're gonna use some of this. You can use regular beef bouillon. I like this paste, and I like this brand here because it's a little bit lower sodium. But you can use whatever you want to. There's no right. You may have the beef cubes or you know, whatever kind that you have at home. Just use that. But if you're gonna go out and buy some, this low sodium, it's right over by the chicken broth that you buy. So we're gonna call that 1, and then we're gonna call. I didn't have a spoon. We're gonna call that 2. We're gonna start with that, and then again, you would want to taste this as you moved along. You know, as you got it close to being done, you'd want to taste it. So go ahead and cut that out to high. And what we're gonna do, we're just gonna add 4 cups. We're gonna start with 4 cups of chicken broth.
So chicken broth.
I mean, not chicken broth. I'm sorry.
I'm fixing to say.
Beef broth.
That's why it was a chicken broth and beef stew.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me. I thought about it about the time you said it. But that's 4 cups. And really with that, and we're gonna put in those vegetables, I'm gonna put I'm gonna probably add about another cup, just because we got a big cup.
Yeah.
I mean a big pot full. I'm gonna add about one more cup. All right. Go ahead, Tina, and let's dump that, because I want to get this put together before we go to break. Let me hold that.
Hold it, yep. Unless you want it all over the stove.
No, let's go ahead and mix that good. Okay, you can reach over and cut that other eye off if you want to. Cut that one off. And what we're gonna do is bring that up. We're gonna bring that up, and we're gonna add just our other few ingredients right here. Okay, now just let that ride for a minute. Now we're gonna put we're gonna go ahead and add our. Now I know it looks like, you know, stir that again. Like I said, I don't know if we can get an overview right there, but see, that's real juicy. But remember that flour that we put in there on that meat? That's gonna help as this cooks. It's gonna thicken down. Now on the recipe.
But that looks good.
Yeah, but it's gonna thicken. But on the recipe, I got wrote down at the bottom, if you want it a little bit thicker, once this gets done, you can take like 3 tablespoons of cornstarch and 3 tablespoons of water and mix that and put it in there and let it cook just a little bit.
I kind of like it like that.
All right, I'm putting 3 bay leaves and just 1 stem. If you buy this fresh rosemary, the recipe calls for a stem, so I'm gonna use that one right there. We're just gonna drop that 1 stem. All right, push those down, Tina. Push those down. I'm supposed to put a top on this, and we're finna pop this in the oven.
Voila.
There it is. We're gonna have this ready. When we come back from break, we're gonna have this ready for you. We're gonna let that go for about 45 minutes, and then we're gonna add the potatoes. Stay with us. We'll be right back on the Master's Table.
Welcome back. We have this beef stew is ready.
Ooh, I mean, it is ready.
I'm going to give you your tip of the day in just a second, but I think, Frank, you wanted to say something about it?
I want to talk about it for time. Before we got back, I went ahead and I told you this cooked for 45 minutes. And then at 45 minutes, I remember those potatoes I chopped up right here. I dumped those potatoes in. I let them go for 10 minutes instead of 15. I let them go for 10 minutes. And then I had that cup. Remember I showed you that bag, that cup of green peas. I put the green peas in there. So I dumped that in there, and then I let it cook that next 15 or so minutes or so. And I pulled the rosemary stem, I took it out, and the bay leaves out, because I didn't want Tina biting into that, because I would be in trouble. So anyway, you go ahead and give me your tip, and then we'll look and see what this looks like.
Your tip of the day. If you're cooking sweets like brownies, cookies, cakes, and it calls for water, substitute coffee for the water. The coffee taste will not come through, and it will give you a taste of chocolate. So that is your tip of the day.
Can't wait to do that. Yes. You done showed me something today, Miss Clean. You've been holding out on me.
Yeah.
Okay, here it is. Now I want y'all to look at this a minute, because I didn't add anything else. And you remember how liquidy that was?
Yeah.
But this is what it does. Once that flour, it won't even run through that.
Yep, it was very good.
Through that. So I mean, this is good. The potatoes are done. The meats. I mean, it's already cooked. She's good to go.
And like I said, get you some cornbread. Cornbread is good with everything.
You like bread with everything.
I just like bread. I just like bread.
But this is our home style beef stew, master's table style. Got a little bit of pepper in it. That's probably a little bit different than what some people would do. A little extra W sauce. And I would probably, in my bowl, I would probably sprinkle just a little bit of that Creole just to give it a little bit more of a bite.
Yep. So if you have recipes that you would like for us to cook on the show, send them to us and we'll be glad to do it. Until next time, we'll see you. We love you. God loves you. Join us next week.